a little bit, but he's just down for anything. Like, he's so just like roll with the punches, and I'm not like that. I'm a planner.
Country music may sound warm and heartfelt, but behind the stage lights and cowboy charm, some stars have shown a very different side. These are the artists who let fame go to their heads, snapping at fans, canceling shows, or acting like they're too big for the people who made them famous. Their songs preach love and loyalty, yet their actions tell another story. Join us as we uncover 20 country artists who treated their fans like garbage and somehow got away with it. Number 20, Morgan Wallen.
Is that what it appears? Is that how I come across?
Morgan Wallen rose fast from small-town shows to stadiums, but his story is not all applause. In early 2021, a private video of him using a hate speech became public, and radio stations and award shows cut ties. That moment changed how many people saw him, and it felt like the end for some fans and the industry alike. Instead of disappearing, he worked behind the scenes, apologized, and slowly returned. New records and big album wins followed, and many listeners forgave him because his songs still felt honest to them. Live shows have been rocky. In 2023, a last-minute cancellation led to a lawsuit from a fan who said they lost travel and other money. That fight showed how quickly a promise to fans can break and how costly it becomes when a show does not happen. More recently, videos and reports have shown tense moments at his concerts. Fans grabbed at him in the crowd, and he appeared upset, walking away from stages. Some say he must be treated with more respect. Others say he still owes fans better behavior and clearer communication. Wallen's tale shows how fame can twist second chances into headlines, but he's not the only one whose attitude toward fans left a bitter taste. In fact, another chart topper turned his concerts into a battleground of controversy, drawing a line between loyalty and outrage. The next artist will thrill you. Number 19, Jason Aldean.
You know, I definitely think that on stage I'm probably a little different than I am off stage.
Jason Aldean built his name on grit, southern charm, and songs that made small towns feel like legends. But behind that fame lies a storm that often divides his fans. Over the years, Aldean has found himself at the center of heated moments, both on stage and off. One of the biggest came when he released a song that many listeners felt carried a message that was too political and too provocative. The music video sparked outrage because it was filmed in front of a courthouse linked to racial violence. Some fans felt betrayed, saying he had crossed the line from country storytelling into something hurtful and divisive. When he was asked about it, Aldean didn't back down. He said people were simply too quick to judge, which made some fans admire his confidence, while others saw it as arrogance. Concert-goers have also shared moments when he appeared distant or frustrated with the crowd, walking off early or cutting sets short when things didn't go his way. Yet his shows still sell out, and his albums still top charts. It seems controversy only fuels his fame. His story reminds us that in country music, standing your ground can make you powerful, but it can also turn your audience against you. And that tension continues with the next name. Number 18, the Dixie Chicks. The Dixie Chicks, now known simply as the Chicks, were once America's sweethearts of country music. Their harmonies filled the airwaves, their songs spoke of heartache and strength, and their concerts drew crowds that felt like family gatherings. But everything changed in 2003 during a show in London, when lead singer Natalie Maines said she was ashamed that President George Bush was from Texas.
Who agree with the majority of you guys. So I sort of thought I was standing up for what America.
Those few words caused an explosion that no one saw coming. Radio stations across the United States banned their music overnight, fans smashed their CDs, and the trio received threats that shook their sense of safety. For some, that moment turned them from beloved artists into villains who had insulted their country. For others, it made them heroes who dared to speak their truth. Through it all, the Chicks refused to bow. They faced the storm head-on, lost millions of fans, and still kept singing about strength, love, and defiance. When they finally returned years later with new music, their songs carried scars, but also wisdom. Their journey showed that fame in country music can crumble in a heartbeat, but courage can rebuild it stronger than before. And from that kind of rebellion, the next story takes us to another fiery artist who turned fan love into confrontation. Number 17, Miranda Lambert.
Amazing jumpsuits that I've gotten to wear, and I'm obsessed with them. I'm much more
Miranda Lambert has always carried the spirit of a wildfire. Her voice tells stories of heartbreak and revenge, but her fiery attitude doesn't end when the music stops. Over the years, fans have witnessed sides of Lambert that left some cheering and others stunned. During one of her concerts in Las Vegas, she stopped mid-song to call out a group of women who were taking selfies instead of listening. Her words were sharp, and her tone made the crowd go silent. Some fans defended her, saying she was protecting the magic of live music. Others felt embarrassed, claiming she humiliated people who had paid to see her. Lambert's stage presence is unpredictable, sometimes warm and playful, other times stern and unfiltered. There have been reports of her storming off stage when things don't go as planned or when the audience gets too rowdy. Yet her fans remain loyal, drawn to her honesty and fearless nature. They know she wears her emotions openly, even when it's messy. Her story proves that authenticity can be both a blessing and a curse. Fans love her fire, but sometimes they get burned by it. And just when you think the flames have cooled, another country star steps up with even more heat. Number 16, Carly Pearce. Carly Pearce has always been known for her soft voice and charming smile, but beneath that sweetness lies a woman who doesn't back down. She started as the girl who sang about heartbreak and hope, but on stage, she can be sharp when pushed too far. During a music festival in 2024, a fan in the front row shouted something rude in the middle of her performance. Instead of ignoring it, Carly stopped the music and faced him directly. Her calmness turned to fire as she told him to leave if he couldn't behave. The crowd gasped, then erupted in cheers. That moment went viral, and opinions split. Some fans loved her confidence, saying it showed she wasn't afraid to stand up for herself. Others thought she overreacted, claiming she should have kept the show going. But Carly didn't seem to regret it. She later said that every artist deserves respect, and she meant it. It was a reminder that kindness doesn't mean weakness. Pearce proved that even the sweetest country stars can roar when pushed too far. And speaking of roaring, the next story takes a much darker turn, with a rising country performer whose anger at a fan stunned everyone watching. Number 15, Warren Zeiders. Warren Zeiders came into country music like a storm young, confident, and full of energy that drew crowds wherever he performed. His gravelly voice and outlaw image made him one of the most talked about newcomers in the genre, but one night in Florida, that rebel image crossed the line. During a live concert, a fan reportedly said something that set him off. Instead of brushing it aside, Zeiders stopped singing, leaned into the mic, and unleashed a burst of anger that shocked everyone. People in the crowd watched in disbelief as he shouted profanities at the fan before storming off stage. Videos of that moment spread quickly online. Some defended him, saying the fan had been disrespectful first. Others felt Zeiders had let fame get the best of him, arguing that no artist should lose control in front of a paying audience. He later tried to downplay the incident, but the memory stuck. Fans began to wonder if the fame and pressure were starting to change him. That outburst reminded everyone that fame doesn't always come with patience. Sometimes the spotlight burns too hot and tempers explode. But as the noise around Zeiders faded, another artist found himself in a similar situation, one that ended with an even more dramatic exit. Number 14, Braxton Keith. Braxton Keith was on the rise, building a name for himself as a modern cowboy with old-school charm. His shows were known for their rowdy energy, full of laughter, singing, and flying beer cans. But during one concert in Oklahoma, that wild fun spiraled out of control. In the middle of his performance, a few fans began throwing drinks toward the stage. Keith stopped the music, his smile disappeared, and his voice turned cold. He scolded the crowd for being disrespectful and warned that he wouldn't tolerate such behavior. When the chaos didn't stop, he did something few expected. He walked off the stage and never came back. The audience stood there, stunned. Some cheered his decision, saying no performer should have to deal with that kind of disrespect. Others were furious, arguing that he punished everyone for the bad actions of a few. The videos from that night spread quickly, and debates lit up social media. For many fans, that moment changed how they saw him. It showed that even rising stars can let frustration overpower performance. Braxton Keith's walkout proved that respect cuts both ways, and once the trust between artist and audience breaks, it's hard to piece it back together. The next story, however, takes this tension and turns it into pure chaos. Number 13, Wheeler Walker Jr. Wheeler Walker Jr., known for his wild lyrics and unapologetic humor, has always been a walking controversy in country music. His songs mix crude jokes with catchy tunes, and his fans either love him or can't stand him. But behind the laughs, there have been moments when even his loyal supporters felt pushed too far. When one of his album campaigns was removed from a crowdfunding site because of its explicit content, Thousands of fans who had paid to support him suddenly lost their money and access to the project. They were refunded, but many felt cheated and confused. Wheeler didn't apologize in the way most stars would. Instead, he leaned into the chaos, using the scandal to boost his rebellious image. He has also been known to insult or mock fans who question him online, turning what should have been friendly interactions into arguments. Some find it hilarious, others call it cruel. Still, his shows keep selling out. Fans seem addicted to his boldness, the way he says what others won't. It's proof that in country music, even bad behavior is a smiling superstar who dances on stage and spreads joy wherever he goes. His upbeat energy and charm made him a fan favorite for years, but even the nicest stars have moments that test their image. At several of his concerts, fans have caught glimpses of frustration behind that friendly grin. There have been times when he stopped mid-performance to call out someone in the crowd for being rude or throwing things at the stage. In one viral moment, he even tossed a fan's phone after it was waved too close to his face. Some fans laughed it off, saying it showed his human side. Others felt it was unprofessional and out of character for someone known for his warmth. Beyond the stage, fans have complained about overpriced meet-and-greet tickets and overpromised VIP experiences that didn't deliver what they expected. While Brian rarely responds to such criticism, the frustration has quietly grown among some of his most loyal followers. Still, his popularity hasn't dimmed. He continues to headline massive tours and fill stadiums, proving that a little controversy can't stop the beat of his success. But the next story shifts from smiles to stares as country royalty steps into the spotlight. Number 12, Morgan Evans. Morgan Wallen's rise to fame has been marked by chart-topping hits and a loyal fan base. But his journey has also been marred by several controversies that have sparked public outcry and strained his relationship with some fans. In 2021, Wallen faced significant backlash after a video surfaced showing him using a racial slur. The incident led to his suspension from his record label and removal from major radio stations and streaming platforms. Despite the controversy, Wallen issued a public apology and expressed remorse for his actions. Earlier in 2016, Wallen was arrested for driving under the influence of alcohol, an incident that raised concerns about his behavior and judgment. Additionally, in 2021, he was involved in another public incident where he was caught on camera using offensive language, further damaging his public image. Despite these scandals, Wallen's popularity has remained resilient. He continues to draw large crowds to his concerts and maintains a strong presence in the country music scene. However, these controversies serve as a reminder that even the most successful artists can face significant challenges and scrutiny, and how they address these issues can impact their legacy and relationship with fans. As we reflect on Wallen's journey, we are reminded of the complexities of fame and the importance of accountability in maintaining the trust and support of one's audience. Number 11, Riley Green. Riley Green has earned a reputation in country music for his traditional sound, laid-back Southern charm, and relatable lyrics that celebrate small-town life. Fans are drawn to his authentic storytelling and his ability to make every concert feel personal, as if he's performing just for them. But even the most grounded artists have moments where the stage becomes a pressure cooker, and Riley experienced one of those nights in April 2025. During a high-energy performance, a fight broke out among fans in the front rows. Instead of ignoring the chaos, Riley stopped the music and addressed the crowd directly. He called out the individuals involved, saying, "Hey fellas, hey. Tell the dumbass with no sleeves to turn around and the other guy," before instructing security to remove them. The audience reacted with a mix of shock and applause. Some cheered, appreciating Riley's decisiveness and his refusal to let the fun of the show get ruined by a few disruptive attendees. Others felt the moment broke the energy of the concert, leaving parts of the crowd stunned and a little embarrassed. Despite the controversy, Riley Green's popularity hasn't wavered. His dedication to maintaining respect and safety at his shows reinforces the bond he has with his fans. That night was a clear reminder that being a performer isn't just about singing, it's about protecting the experience for everyone who came to listen. Number 10, Scotty McCreery. Scotty McCreery rose to fame as the charming young winner of American Idol, a small-town boy with a big voice and a humble smile. Fans adored him for his good manners and down-to-earth attitude, but one night at a concert proved that even the nicest stars have their limits. During a live show, Scotty suddenly stopped singing when he noticed chaos in the crowd. A man was reportedly shoving a woman, and without hesitation, Scotty stepped up to the microphone and called him out in front of everyone. His voice was firm as he demanded security to remove the man immediately. The audience erupted in applause, cheering him for protecting the woman. Many praised his courage, saying he showed what real integrity looks like. But not everyone agreed. Some fans thought he turned the concert into a moral showdown and claimed it broke the atmosphere of the show. Scotty didn't seem to care about that criticism. To him, doing the right thing mattered more than keeping the music going. That moment revealed a different side of him, still polite, but fearless when it came to standing up for what's right. And as the crowd calmed down, country fans learned that sometimes being the hero means losing your harmony. But the next story shows what happens when patience wears even thinner. Number 9, Keith Urban. Keith Urban has always carried a polished image, the soft-spoken guitar genius with charm that could melt a crowd. But even the calmest performer can have breaking points, and Keith has had his share of uneasy moments with fans. At several of his concerts, people have noticed how protective he is about the space between himself and the audience. He often asks fans to stop shining bright phone lights or flashing cameras directly into his face while he performs. On more than one occasion, he stopped mid-song to politely but firmly ask people to put their devices away so everyone can enjoy the show. While some admire him for valuing the art of live music, others think he comes off as distant and overly strict. Stories have circulated of fans being told not to touch or approach him during meet and greets, and a few have shared that he sometimes rushes through those moments without much warmth. It's not that he's rude, but there's a line he doesn't want crossed. For an artist who built his image on connection, that distance can feel surprising. Yet Keith's professionalism and charm keep most fans loyal, even if some miss the old openness. And speaking of changing attitudes, the next artist proves that fame can turn closeness into coldness in the blink of an eye. Number 8, Kane Brown. Kane Brown entered the country scene as a breath of fresh air, young, stylish, and relatable. His rise from social media covers to arena tours felt like a modern fairy tale. Fans loved how open he was, often chatting online and treating supporters like friends. But as his fame exploded, the connection began to shift. At concerts, fans started noticing a more guarded side of him. Some have said that when crowds pressed in for selfies or hugs, Kane would pull away or shake his head, saying he couldn't stop for pictures. To many, that seemed understandable. Fame can be overwhelming and safety matters. Yet others took it personally, saying the same artist who once felt approachable had suddenly built invisible walls. Even at meet and greets, there were complaints that he appeared rushed or distracted, as though he was just trying to get through the motions. Despite the criticism, Kane still keeps a massive fan base. His music continues to climb charts, and his energy on stage remains powerful. Still, his story shows how fame can quietly change the bond between a star and the people who helped build them. One moment, you're everyone's favorite guy, and the next, fans wonder if you still remember who you were. The next artist knows that feeling all too well. Number 7, Chris Janson. Chris Janson is known for his electric energy on stage, the kind of performer who pours his heart into every note. But that same passion sometimes turns into frustration when the crowd gets too wild. At several of his concerts, Janson has stopped mid-song to confront fans who are yelling rude comments or fighting near the stage. He's even pointed at people directly and told them to leave, refusing to continue until security escorted them out. Some audience members saw those moments as heroic, saying he was defending the spirit of live music. Others thought it felt more like public shaming than leadership. Off stage, Janson's straightforward attitude has also sparked mixed reactions. He often speaks about respecting the craft of country music, and when fans or critics disagree, he doesn't hesitate to fire back online or in interviews. His honesty makes him relatable to some, but abrasive to others. Number 6, Luke Combs. Luke Combs has become one of the biggest names in country music, known for his humble heart and songs that feel like stories from a friend. Fans love him because he never seemed to lose that everyday guy charm, even after fame hit hard. But as his career reached stadium size, small cracks began to show. Some fans have complained about meet and greet promises that were never kept, saying they paid for exclusive moments only to be rushed through quick photos or in some cases told the sessions were canceled. Others have pointed out that his management team sometimes overbooks, leaving true fans disappointed when they travel far and get less than what they were promised. Luke himself hasn't been directly rude, he's still warm and kind on stage, but the frustration from fans has started to grow louder online. They say the gap between his man of the people image and the way things are handled behind the scenes keeps widening. Even with these complaints, his shows remain sold out, and his popularity only seems to climb. People forgive him easily because his music still feels honest. Yet his story proves that sometimes disappointment doesn't come from words, it comes from silence. And the next artist knows exactly how to turn that silence into tension. Number 5, Blake Shelton. Blake Shelton has long worn the crown of charm in country music. With his smooth talk, humor, and TV fame, he seemed like the guy everyone wanted to grab a beer with. But behind that laid-back smile, some fans have whispered about a colder side. Over the years, people who've met him at concerts and backstage events have described moments where he appeared distracted, distant, or completely uninterested. A few longtime fans even said they felt replaced by newer, trendier audiences once he became a major television star. There have also been murmurs of favoritism during meet and greets, where only certain fans seemed to get his full attention, while others were brushed off with a quick handshake and a photo. On stage, Shelton is known for cracking jokes, sometimes at the expense of audience members who shout too much or act up. Many laugh along, but others have said his humor can sting more than it entertains. Still, his charisma keeps him untouchable. People keep buying tickets because he knows how to make a crowd laugh and sing, even after a sour moment. Blake's story is a reminder that charm can cover a lot, but not forever. And as we move to the next name, we find another superstar whose smile hides a growing distance from the fans who made him. Number 4, Kenny Chesney. Kenny Chesney has spent decades building an image as the laid-back, beach-loving superstar of country music. His concerts feel like summer festivals, packed stadiums, cold drinks, and good vibes. But behind those sunny performances, not every fan has left happy. Over the years, some have complained that Chesney's shows feel more like large-scale spectacles than personal experiences. He's often seen performing to massive crowds with little interaction beyond a wave or smile, leaving longtime followers feeling overlooked. Fans who've paid for premium tickets or VIP experiences have also shared stories of brief, impersonal meet and greets where Chesney seemed distant or rushed. Others claim he rarely engages with his audience outside of the music, which has led to whispers that he's grown too big to connect the way he once did. Still, there's no denying his professionalism. He never misses a beat, his performances are polished, and his energy rarely falters. For many, Chesney's distance isn't cruelty, but a symptom of fame at its peak. When the crowd stretches into the thousands, intimacy is the first thing to disappear. Yet, even with the growing gap, fans keep coming back, chasing that warm, familiar escape his music promises. But the next story takes us back in time to a country legend whose pride sometimes left fans out in the cold. Number 3, Randy Travis. Randy Travis is a name that echoes through the heart of classic country music. His deep, steady voice shaped a whole generation of country fans, and for years, he was seen as a humble, God-fearing star who could do no wrong. But fame, as always, has its shadows. In his earlier years, stories began to circulate from fans who had met him off stage. Some said he could be curt or dismissive when asked for autographs or pictures, while others recalled moments where he seemed distant or uninterested. For many, those encounters were disappointing, especially when they expected the warm personality they heard in his songs. As time went on, Travis faced personal battles, legal troubles, public outbursts, and health struggles that changed how the world saw him. Some fans felt sympathy, others couldn't forget the moments when their idol had seemed cold. Yet through it all, his music never lost its power. People forgave, remembering the man who once gave them songs filled with love and faith. Number 2, Eric Church. Eric Church has always been the rebel of country music, the man who doesn't just play by his own rules, he writes them. With his dark sunglasses, gritty lyrics, and don't care attitude, he built a career out of being different. Fans saw him as the outlaw who stood for honesty and authenticity in an industry that often feels too polished. But sometimes, that same rebellious streak that made him famous has also made him hard to love. In 2022, Eric made a decision that stunned his most loyal fans. Just days before a sold-out concert in San Antonio, he canceled the show, not for illness, not for weather, but to watch a basketball game. The matchup between his beloved North Carolina Tar Heels and Duke was a once-in-a-lifetime moment, he explained later. But for thousands of fans who had spent hundreds on tickets, travel, and hotels, it felt like a slap in the face. They didn't just lose a night of music, they lost trust in the artist they thought understood them. Eric later released a heartfelt apology, calling the choice selfish but deeply personal. Some forgave him, saying that's what makes him human. Others never looked back, believing no basketball game should come before his fans. Yet somehow, his career barely took a dent. His concerts still sell out, his albums still top charts, and his followers remain some of the most loyal in country music. Eric Church's story is proof that charisma can smooth even the roughest mistakes. His unapologetic nature, the same thing that caused the uproar, is also what keeps people hooked. Love him or hate him, Eric stays true to himself, and maybe that's why, even when he disappoints, fans still find their way back to the church.
Number 1, Tim McGraw.
Tim McGraw, Faith Hill's husband and musical partner, is known for his commanding stage presence but doesn't tolerate disrespect. During one concert, he stopped mid-song to have a disruptive fan removed, a move that divided opinions. Behind the scenes, both McGraw and Faith enforce strict boundaries during meet and greets, often keeping interactions brief and formal to protect their privacy. While some fans find this distant, others respect it as professionalism. Despite occasional criticism, their music continues to inspire deep loyalty, reflecting the fine balance between fame, respect, and personal space that few artists manage gracefully. Now, what do you think about all these country artists? What do you think about their behavior? Let's hear from you in the comments. Remember to hit the like button and subscribe. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.